What I thought was just a harmless swim turned into the most terrifying discovery of my life. It was the middle of summer when my friends and I decided to spend a few days at the lake. The lake had always been our favorite retreat, a place where we could swim, laugh, and forget about the world. Surrounded by thick forests, it felt like our own hidden paradise. But that summer, something changed, something that would leave us all haunted. One evening, just as the sun was setting, casting the sky in shades of orange and pink, I decided to take a quick swim before it got too dark. The water was cool and inviting as I swam out toward the middle of the lake, enjoying the quiet. But as I reached the deeper part, I felt something brush against my leg. At first, I thought it was just a plant or some floating debris, but then it tightened around my ankle. I stopped, my heart skipping a beat, and reached down to feel what it was. My fingers touched something rough and solid, fabric. Panic surged through me as I realized I was stuck. "Guys, something's got me!" I screamed, my voice trembling with fear as I struggled to pull free. But the fabric seemed to pull back, tightening its grip and dragging me downward. The water around me felt colder, darker, as if it was swallowing me whole. My friends, who had been lounging on the shore, immediately jumped into action. "Anna, hang on!" Mark shouted, his voice filled with urgency as he swam toward me. Lisa, her face pale with fear, followed closely behind. I kicked and thrashed, trying to loosen whatever had me, but it felt like the more I struggled, the tighter it held. My breath came in quick, shallow gasps as I fought to stay above water. The terror of not knowing what was pulling me down made it hard to think, hard to breathe. Mark reached me first, his strong hands gripping my arms as he tried to pull me free. "Hold on, Anna, we've got you," he said, his voice strained with effort. Lisa grabbed my other arm, and together they pulled with all their strength. For a moment, it felt like we were losing the battle. The water seemed to drag me down with an unnatural force. But then, with one final desperate tug, they managed to rip me free. The three of us scrambled to the surface, gasping for air, and quickly swam back to shore. We collapsed onto the sand, shaking with adrenaline and fear. "What the hell was that?" Mark panted, his eyes wide with shock. I could only shake my head, too rattled to speak. Lisa knelt beside me, her face etched with concern. "Anna, are you okay? You were really stuck. What was it?" I don't know," I stammered, still trying to process what had just happened. My ankle throbbed where the fabric had gripped me, and I could still feel the icy pull of the water. It felt like fabric, like I was tangled in someone's clothes. Lisa's eyes widened, and she exchanged a worried glance with Mark. "We need to check this out," she said, her voice firm despite the fear in her eyes. "What if there's something, or someone, in the water?" Mark nodded, his expression grim. "Stay here, Anna. We're going to take a closer look." They didn't have to look far. As they swam back to the spot where I had been stuck, something dark and shadowy floated just beneath the surface. Mark reached down, his hand trembling, and pulled up what was unmistakably a piece of torn fabric, attached to a pale, bloated arm. Lisa screamed, and Mark quickly let go, his face drained of color. "We need to call the police," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The authorities arrived within the hour, and the lake was quickly cordoned off. Divers were sent down, and what they found confirmed our worst fears. The body of a man, tangled in water weeds and mud, had been hidden beneath the surface for weeks. He was a local resident who had gone missing, his disappearance a mystery until now. The lake, once our sanctuary, was now a place of horror. None of us could forget the sight of that lifeless body, the cold grip of its clothes pulling me down. We left the lake that day, our laughter and carefree days shattered by the dark secret we had uncovered. I haven't been back to the lake since. The memory of that night still haunts me. The feeling of that rough fabric dragging me down into the cold, dark depths. The lake, once a place of joy and freedom, had become a graveyard of secrets, a place I would never return to.